Hi guys, welcome to another beer review, and today we're going over to a brewery who I've not tried one of their beers for quite a long time, to be honest. And I was doing an order on Hoptimism and I saw that they had this and I was like, I'm going to give it a go because I do like peated / smoked beers. And yeah, we're going back over to Weird Beard, and these guys are based out of... Clearly didn't actually want to say that, but I will carry on. They are actually based out of Hanwell, and yeah, this is the Peat Rock, which is a peated India brown porter, clocking in at 7% ABV. For this beer, we went back to the old school, taking inspiration from the original brown porter style, but we couldn't just stop there. We had to bring a little weird beard flavour to the jam. We took the elements of a brown porter, dialed up the ABV, added a generous amount of Eldorado and Summit hops, and dropped some big heavy peat notes in the mix. The result is a beer like no other, complex, bursting with hop character, and full of peat. This beer is an innovative, as unique... No, can I read properly please? So this beer is as innovative and unique as its namesake. So this was bottled on 22nd of the 2nd 2017, so it's got a nice little bit of age on it, and best before date is actually the 22nd of the 2nd 2018. And to be fair to Optimism, I did get this discounted, so I knew beforehand that it was probably going to be a little bit older. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that over a year's shelf life has done it. You know, it's done a job for me of aging a beer, I suppose, because I really can't age beers. Do you know what I mean? If it's there, I'll probably end up drinking it. But yeah, so 7% ABV, brown porter, Indian brown porter. So interested to see how this one turns out. And there is the absolutely fantastic Weird Beard crown, which I think changes from beer to beer. And yeah, the artwork on Weird Beard beers is just absolutely wonderful. And they've probably already have done it, but how awesome would that be to have like a tiled shirt of all the different skulls on bottle caps? That would be a fantastic piece of merch. Just putting it out there in case it hasn't already been done. And yeah, I love the experimental nature of Weird Beard. And I love it when they do like brews with like chefs, where they've got like, I'm sure they did like a sort of like miso inspired or infused beer, like it was like a ramen dish. In fact, a ramen beer would be fantastic, come to think of it, because ramen with craft beer, even though McKellar have done it, they've got that ramen place I don't think it's in Copenhagen, I think it's in somewhere else. But can you imagine anything more pretentious, poncy, but wonderful than having a craft beer ramen place? And then even better, having a ramen beer. That's just like, I dream of stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I drown in my dreams when I think of stuff like that. It's like pairing sweet stouts with donuts. It's like, just cover me in it. Strip me down, cover me in it. Anyway, don't know where I'm going with this video. The lighting's a little bit weird, but there's some nice classy nudies up there. And yeah, we've got hopefully a really good beer. So every beer that I've had from Weird Beard has been not just unique, but really good. I think the best one I've had was the Sadako Imperial Stout, which I had a few years ago. And that had a couple of years on it. And that was like my Christmas beer, and it was just drinking so smooth. I think that's the first time I'd actually aged a beer. And I was proud of myself, and I enjoyed the beer that much more. So anyway, using a tiny Hop City glass, because the other glass is downstairs, even though I pointed upwards, because that's my glass shelf. And the only other glass I have has had very uninspired, pale South African beers in it, so I did not want to impair the flavour. Plus, it looks a little bit more pretentious and twatty when you've got it in a tiny tulipped glass. But anyway, let's see what we get. Alright then, and if you can hear voices in the background, it's because I'm actually in the middle of a little bit of a hangout with a few good chums. But beer in a glass then, and that is, yeah, it's not exactly jet black, but it's got like a really intense sort of like dark varnished oaky look to it. Very dense looking. Beer poured with a peater, small finger worth of head. I'd say beige, like a pale beige. I can smell the peatiness from here, man. It's absolutely wonderful. I love that flavour. So let's hear what we get when we give it a proper sniff. Oh, hello. That like tastes like a boozy Black Forest Gatto. That lovely sweet peatiness is in there as well. Gives it that sort of like almost bourbon vanilla sort of aroma. We had loads of cherries. That lovely sort of like, it's got this sort of like black currant hoppy aroma to it. It's all like in your face American like citrus or tropical hops. It's like berry like hops, cranberries, steeped fruits. It's got like a syrupy viscousness to it and a vinous quality almost. Loads of caramel, brown sugar. Oh, it smells so divine, it really does. And that lovely slightly peated smoky edge there as well. Quite sweet actually. So, it smells really good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Well, you can clearly tell that it's aged a little bit, because those hops aren't as pungent as you would expect them to. But that being said, that has, and obviously I can't attest how this would taste fresh, but that has mellowed down so nicely. That's like dark, rich, inviting. Loads of dark berries in there, like fruits of the forest. Black Forest Gatto. It's like Black Forest Gatto in the glass, but with like a lovely peaty smokiness on the back end. It's got a lovely velvetiness to it in the body, but not too heavy. It's so nice and rounded. It really, really is. You get more of like a smokiness on the back end, with what should be a hoppy bitterness is like complemented nicely with that slightly sweet, woody peatiness. But yeah, there's no harshness, there's no like rough edges to this beer. It's lovely roasted. You get that like smoky port character, but then you get that sort of like hoppy Cascadian dark ale / black IPA sort of character to it. I mean, it's not a hophead stream in this state, but those hops have mellowed down really nicely. They've not become like overly boiled tea like I do find with some hops when they die down, and you just get that sort of like just generic green hop oil character. But yeah, this has just settled down to a lovely, relaxing beer. And that 7% ABV is just not there. The only warming you get, I'd say, is from the peatiness from this beer. It's not what I was expecting it to be, but it's actually a lot better than I thought it would be. And, you know, to save yourself a little bit of money compared to what it was originally, I think it's not, you know, the biggest reduction. And I didn't really pay too much for the beer, but for the price, I can't really fault that at all. I love peated beers, I love slightly smoky beers. And those lovely dark, like cherries, even those like really dark grapes, I can't remember what they're called. Lovely residual stickiness. Not too much though. And it is a little bit dry on the back end. So there's a lot going on there. It's a very robust beer, even though it's a mellow beer at the same time. Yeah, I like that a lot actually. That's really, really damn good. Yeah. In terms of a rating then, on Peat Rock, a peated Indian brown porter, there's nothing wrong with this beer at all. And to me, it's a 10 out of 10. Just for how smooth and indulgent it is, but at how light it is at the same time. That's a real surprise, it really, really is. Not that I was expecting it to be a bad beer, because why would I buy it if I was expecting it to be a bad beer, do you know what I mean? But it's gone in a completely different direction than I thought it would do. And I'm very happy that it did, because that's absolutely gorgeous. It really, really is. Yeah, if you paired this with like some grapes, a nice strong cheese, and some rye bread or pumpernickel, you've got yourself like the best brunch or late night snack ever. It's absolutely lovely, really, really is. 10 out of 10. So if you've tried this one, then of course let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. If you could give me any thoughts and opinions on the fresher version of this beer, as always, open to hear that. I'd actually really like to try that fresh, but at the same time I wouldn't be upset if I found an out-of-date bottle of this, because it's absolutely gorgeous. It really, really is. And yeah, so I think I've got a Weird Beard playlist down below, so do check that out. Of course, check out Weird Beard, check out Hoptimism. I've had some fantastic beers from just one order. And yeah, this will definitely not be the last time I have a Weird Beard beer. It's really quite hard to say that multiple times in like very few sentences, but yeah, hopefully it won't take me as long to try another beer from these guys, because that's wonderful. It really, really is. You're probably thinking I'm overstating it, but this is gorgeous and you should try it. If any of my friends have tried it, then of course their reviews will be included down below. So anyway, thank you for watching this. Thank you for watching a grown man become like a mellow, comfort child. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Your thoughts and opinions are always welcome, and I hope you join me next time for another beer review. See you guys later.